Hi, I'm Olga Bondareva, co-founder and CEO at ModuMap, social selling for B2B. And what is social selling? Social selling is lead generation for B2B using personal social media profiles. How we do it? We choose the profile we work with. For example, it can be a profile of CEO of the company, of co-founder, of some key employees, maybe head of departments or some other employees. We start with their positioning on social media. We help them to develop their personal brands. What it means that we define the roles they would broadcast to their audience. They can be professional and personal roles, like for example expert in some topics, or the person is an employee of a certain company, or we can for example use some personal roles about work-life balance and some other stuff this person is interested in. Why it's important? Because on LinkedIn there is a lot of spam, a lot of fake accounts, and they spam each other, they interact with other people, and they send some typical messages, but it's the risk because everyone understands that they are fake. And your goal on LinkedIn is to show that you are a real person, you are not fake. And how we can do it? We can do it showing our personality, showing what we are interested in, not only in our professional field but in personal field. And we need to show that we are real. This is why we recommend using videos, we recommend using some audio features of LinkedIn. This is important because otherwise people just can think that you're one of many bots on LinkedIn. You just bother them with some typical messages and it's just boring and they will not reply you. You need to prove you're the real person on LinkedIn. And this is what we do. We start with positioning. After that, we do two activities in parallel. First one is target audience growth. Of course, for our clients, it's important to work with certain companies in certain maybe industries, geographics. Maybe they work on some certain job positions. For example, our clients can need CTOs, CIOs, or marketing directors of some companies, or someone else, logistics director, for example. And based on this information, we help them to find this target audience. First of all, of course, we use LinkedIn Sales Navigator to do this, because LinkedIn Sales Navigator has a lot of amazing filters we can use. Also, we search for some external lists of potential clients, like list of top ad tech startups in the UK, top e-commerce companies in Dubai, or something else. What is relevant to us, of course. And we use some relevant groups and some other interesting ways to find the target audience. So we have a lot of things here. The next step after the target audience grows is content. Why is it important? To show that you are the real person, to show your expertise, and to warm up these potential leads you're getting, because people approve your connection requests, and of course they need to know something about you, about your company, about maybe some case studies you have, and this is why they need content, obviously. And this content we prepare based on the interviews with our clients. If they love to prepare content themselves, of course they can do it, but usually people, they don't have time to write posts, and we can recommend them to maybe change it somehow to make it more interesting for social media. So this is the third step, content. And fourth step is interactions with the target audience. It's very important to interact with the audience, not just send them messages and that's it. It's important to react on their posts. It's important to comment on their posts, and even endorse skills. And also you can comment on influencers' content, because usually when you comment influencers, your audience, if they follow these influencers, they will see your comments, and they will come to your profile, visit it, and maybe try to understand what you're doing. If you are relevant to them, they could come to you. They could send you the first message with some questions or even proposal to have a call. So this is the good way to attract some potential clients to your profile. And interactions are very important because this is how you build your relationships with potential clients. They start trusting you based on these interactions. After that, you can continue using lead generation mechanics. How we do it? Of course, we can do it in different ways, but personal messages is a key channel for lead generation on LinkedIn, because on this platform, people, they just spend a lot of time sending messages, replying to the messages. This is like email for them, but less formal. And they can, for example, meet new people. They can have some networking conversations with potential, maybe suppliers, with potential partners or clients, or even employers or someone else. So LinkedIn is very active platforms in terms of personal conversations in private messages. And this channel is the most important one. What kind of messages work best? Actually, the messages where you go directly to business, without a lot of small talk, without a lot of, soft communication. You just tell them about what you are doing and ask, is it relevant to their business goals for the next quarter, for example? Is it interesting to them right now or to their company? And of course, if it's interesting, they are usually ready to have a call, or they can ask for some additional materials. This is okay, but usually they are ready to have a call with you, and you can agree to have a call with them. So this is how they become leads, and of course we need to follow up them after that, because usually one call is not enough for working with your target audience. We need to follow up. So summarizing what we are doing, we start with positioning on social media, then we do two things in parallel: target audience growth and prepare regular content. Then we start interacting with the audience, and then we do some lead generation activities in personal messages, in social media posts, and in professional groups. This is also a very important channel. This is what social selling is about. We don't just use cold sales, cold lead generations. We also build relationships for the future. And this is more strategic work than just, for example, spamming someone on LinkedIn with your messages. This is more complex and systematic work. Also, I would like to talk about social selling metrics, how we assess the results, how we understand that our project works well or our project doesn't work at all. What we do is we start with connection rate. This is the metric which help us to understand how people approve our connection requests. And using this metric, we can, for example, change how profile looks like, or we can change the target audience segments, because we can see that they, for example, don't approve your connection requests or approve less than we expected, because our benchmark for this metric is 50%. Usually, if your connection rate is lower than 50%, we would recommend you to maybe to change something, change profile design, or maybe change the target audience segment to choose more active segment to work with. The next metric, which is important to us and we work with, is response rate. This metric shows us how our script works. For example, people can reply to our script very well, and this is great, and this is how we understand that script works, and they reply, they become leads, or they show their interest, and this is okay. But sometimes for some messages our audience doesn't react so well, so we need to change it, and we test different scripts, and we fine-tune them and choose those scripts which are the most effective for the certain audience, for the certain geographics, etc. So this is how it works, and our good results for us, our benchmark for response rate is 30%. Next metric we work with is interest rate. This metric shows us how many people interested in our proposal, in our messages, and it's important that people become interested, because this is the previous stage before lead. And how we understand that they are interested: they could share their emails and ask for additional materials. For us, they are not leads yet if they just share their emails, because we didn't have a call with them, we didn't have an offline meeting with them, so this is just interest yet. Or they can ask some additional questions, some important questions to understand what we are doing, understand our product or service. Of course, this is also interest. Next metric is conversion rate. It's very important metric, and it shows what kind of conversion from reply to lead we have. And based on this information, we can, for example, change our scripts and make our proposal more clear, more interesting, more relevant to the audience. We can also change the audience maybe to those people who convert better than others. For example, in one of the projects with our clients, we tested different industries, and we noticed that healthcare industry showed us much higher results. This is just for one project, right? Because usually it can be different, and different industries can respond better in different projects. So based on this information, we could focus on the industries which for which our proposal is the most relevant, so we can use it and get more leads. And also, we have two metrics for the content. First metric is engagement rates. This is a very common metric, probably you know it. This is about how people interact with your content, how they, for example, react on it, put likes or some other reactions to your content. And we have view rate. View rate is about number of views, how many people viewed your content, and actually this is more important metric than engagement rate, because usually people, if you don't know them, they tend not to interact with your content because they don't know you and they need you to interact with their content first. Now, unfortunately, LinkedIn doesn't show you who exactly watched your post. But it's okay, because LinkedIn still shows us a lot of useful information. For example, their geographics of those who viewed your posts, their job positions, or even the lists of the companies who viewed your posts. It's already something we can work with, and this is important. Using these metrics, engagement rate and view rate, we can decide what kind of content formats, topics, etc. are more effective and more relevant to your target audience. And this is how we can change, for example, our content strategy and make it more relevant, more interesting and bright for your audience, and use some interesting formats. So this is it for the main metrics we use, and please use them too, because it's important that social selling is not just intuitive, it's measurable, and you can understand and compare maybe different scripts, different results, and understand whether your project works well or doesn't. So thank you, good luck with your social selling, and please follow our channel. This is a new one and we're developing, and would appreciate your following, and of course you'll see our next videos. See you!